You're watching the News on 6, judged best newscast in Oklahoma and Texas.
Whenever the calls for help have come in, Grandpa Mack's been there to answer. And Oklahoma traveler Scott Thompson says even though most of his kind have long since retired, Mack's still hanging on in Hominy.
Every time the roads led to Hominy, I've seen him there, peeking out the door at me. The shiny chrome grille seems like a big smile. That old fire truck has always reminded me of a toy my little boy might play with, grown giant-sized and come to life.
This truck is made out of metal, yes, not like trucks are today. But
Phil Wilson used to be fire chief in Hominy, and the 1948 Mack was his frontline truck.
it's still a favorite old truck. It's just, I don't know, it's just, they just don't make them no more, I guess, and it's just a favorite truck.
Fast approaching his 50th birthday, the truck they call Grandpa Mack still carries original wooden ladders, hatchets, nozzles, and lanterns. They've still got the instruction booklet in case anything breaks.
It even shows the buildings where the truck was made and designed.
There are just 4 polite, flashing red lights, 2 in front, 2 in back. A silver bell rung with a rope, and a siren that sounds like a siren ought to sound. Though the dateline on the Hominy News makes it seem the truck arrived about the same time as Columbus, it was actually 1948, August, when the Mack was driven off the train and posed for this picture. Hominy's new fire truck cost $13,000. And after almost 50 years,
There we go.
Pretty simple, wasn't it?
It's really pretty advanced for a 1948 model. Chrome valve covers.
most of what drove off the train that summer day is still here.
Nothing computerized on there.
It's easy to work on, I guess, right? For somebody that knows this kind of thing?
For someone that knows it, and to be honest with you, I've been here 10 years myself, and we haven't had to do anything but change oil.
Oh, and last year they changed the tires.
March the 15th in 1996, we had to get new tires.
The originals lasted 48 years and racked up most of those 9,437 miles.
The tread was fine. There was nothing wrong with the tread. It just had a little weather cracking on the sides. And for going down the road and hauling 500 gallons of water and making fire runs, we decided we probably should replace them.
Because Grandpa Mack still hunts the smell of smoke. He's not Hominy's frontline truck anymore, but once a month, the volunteers show up at the station house to give him the once-over and drive him around town.
I'll be your windshield wiper.
Like a hairline that's not what it used to be, Grandpa can't claim every piece of original equipment, which is why volunteers like Don Miller need this refresher course every so often.
This is nice. I kind of got practice on a 49 Jeep when I was learning to drive, so it's not all that much different, just a lot bigger.
There's no power steering and no computer-powered anything. And most painfully obvious on rainy evenings like this, there's no roof. They saved $42 by ordering it that way.
Why wasn't there a roof put on this in this country here?
Just one of the old truck's charms.
Especially in the rain. It's a sight to see, I'll tell you.
The fellas long ago realized they're going to get wet in this job anyway. Might as well relish being carried to a conflagration in open-top style. It's not every fire crew who can count falling stars on a dash down Main Street.
That's why we're out here doing this in the rain, because it doesn't matter. If we're fighting fire, it could be raining or snowing or whatever, and we don't stop for that.
What is it about this truck, you think, that so many people notice?
Just the age and all the chrome and how big it is, and just looks kind of neat sitting there in the station. A lot of little kids come by and look at it. They all line up when we have a parade to ride it.
Every year on homecoming day, as long as Mack's called Hominy home, the kids have been running to the station house to hitch a ride in the big parade.
Help, it's getting crowded!
And for all of 3 blocks, right behind the police car that drowns out any spirit the Buck Pride band can muster, here comes a proud and boastful grandpa, safely cradling the most precious cargo any town can turn out. It's always been a sight that does Hominy's heart good.
It's just kind of a neat thing to have around.
Back on training night, Grandpa gets down to business again. Oh, he puts up with the good-natured jabs. Mike Brown says the old fella drives like a hay wagon.
Well, anybody's worked in the hayfield and hauled hay on an old hay truck, that's about what it's like. A lot more fun.
Still, truth be told, they wouldn't know what to do without old Mack.
It's a classic in more ways than you can imagine. It's kind of like almost going back in time.
It just wouldn't be Hominy without that silver bell clanging and that throaty siren wailing and those firemen up front in all kinds of weather.
I don't think the community as a whole would want to get rid of it.
Not that anyone would dare suggest such a thing. No, Hominy can sleep in peace, knowing Grandpa Mack is in that downtown stall where it always seems he's been, smiling out with that big chrome grin.
Everybody here wants the truck around, and it will be around, and it'll always be here in Hominy as far as I can see.
In Hominy, Scott Thompson, the Oklahoma Traveler.